Hi, welcome to Design It with Tammy Gibbs. I'm Tammy, and today I'm going to be working inside Artistly 6. And I'm pretty excited because I have discovered a feature I didn't know was there, and I want to experiment. And I have only played with it a few minutes, so this video is going to be some raw footage of me just figuring out everything. And so, anyway, let's jump in. So we're going to go to create design and we're in Artistly 6. We're going to go under the fast AI image designer, and they have basically added something that I have never noticed. I'm not sure how long it's been there, but you know me, I try to push the limits. This text editor here. So we want to go into there, and I'm going to go and choose an image from my library. So I'm going to choose this image here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to, now this is not the way it's intended. I believe that this is intended to help you correct your text. If you get something and it has scrambled text, then I believe, and we're going to explore that as well. But you know me, I'm always trying to use things for not what they were intended for to see if I can use them that way. So anyway, I decided to try it. So I'm going to go back down here, pick my aspect ratio, and here I'm just going to say remove the background of this image. Keep the style of hair, but remove some of the gray hair. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is clean this up so that it is not, and I'll show you the differences, but we're going to try this. So we're going to see what it actually will do, how well it does, and go from there. And this is a different prompt than I have used in the past when I was testing it. So we're going to see how long it takes it to generate, because a lot of these, not very long at all. Okay, so here we go. Now that looks pretty dang good. We've got less of the gray around the edges, which is what bothered me with that image, but I do like the little goth girl. I'm going to download this. We're going to see if it actually did remove the background or if it just converted it to black. I'm going into Pixel Cut just so I can do that quickly. I'm going to upload the image and see how well it did. Y'all, that is awesome. Let's see it against that black background again, and we see that this is a very usable image now. Okay, why this is important to me is because that was fairly painless. That was very simple. I can basically go back now and I can just copy my prompt here. And this is what I've recommended with when you're using the human stylizer or you're using one of those other features like the photo editor, where you're basically editing an existing image. That's what I have done. Now, let me show you what this image looked like prior to us doing that. Okay, so I'm going to go and take this one, which is where that image originated from. I'm going to download it, and then I'm going to show you what removing the background looked like of that one. When I just removed the background straight in Pixel Cut. Okay, but when you put it against this black background, you see all this that just to me looked very, very messy because of the way the gray hair was done. I'm going to download that one. I'm going to take it into Canva so we can put them side by side. And you can see the difference. So I'm pretty excited about this feature because of the way that I can use it with some of my images that I've had difficulty with. I'm just gonna do this 11 by 16. Oops, wrong thing. Let me go back and resize it. Custom size. We actually want 11 by 8.5. Okay. Okay. All right, so I'm going to upload both of those images. We'll put them side by side. So I'm going to do this one. Okay. Oh, that's not the right one. Hang on. It is the right one. It's just that I downloaded the version that I was showing you, the wrong version. Sorry about that. There we go. So this is the version we want here. And then I'll turn this into so we can see them side by side. So you can see how now I have a usable image. Let's go over here and let's go to, it's not that one, it would be this one. And this was the same way. I didn't download the proper version of it. I had added that background, so I'm just going to remove the background in here because I think we'll still be able to see how the difference between them. So it is the image. It kept my image pretty much. All it did was it removed the background and it took a little bit of this. See all this gray here? It kind of darkened the hair, still have those gray highlights, but when it comes to the usability of the image, you see now we have a usable image here. This is distinctly, you can tell that's gray strands, where here it was so messy and just kind of looked like part of the background was not removed. Now it did tame some of the, which I'm fine with. It tamed her hair. I could ask it and prompt it to leave the hair fuller and, just like replace some of those or whatever, but I'm satisfied with this. I think this is definitely a good feature that we will be able to use. Now, I'm going to do the same thing with this bunny here because let me just show you, and I'll go in here and do it. Let's add a page. Okay, so I'm going to show you this bunny here and show you what it looks like. And we'll see if we can refine it. And I know, I've sort of taught in most of my videos that there are images that you just don't always want to, you can't, they may be cute images, but you just don't want to, okay, so this one has bothered me because to me, it kind of also looks like, for some reason, it's just not, this white just bothers me. But I love the bunny. I love the style of the bunny, everything about it except for the way that it removes around this tutu. So I'm going to go back in and I am going to attempt to use that feature. And you may say, well, what about the human stylizer? Well, I've actually have used the human stylizer before and to do some of these things, but to be honest with you, I believe this one actually did it a little bit better for these particular, I guess, what would you want to say, circumstances, like to try to refine that. So, okay. So I'm going to paste that in, remove the background of this image. Now, instead of keep the style of the bunny, and image, but make the tutu more solid and without any white, any white showing through the skirt. Tutu. Okay. And we're just going to see what it does. So it should remove that background. So if you're having to do this, then if you can also remove the background at the same time, then you're going to kind of save a step from having to remove the background. Oh, and I should have done this. And it will not let me do it, so I'll have to redo it. But it's going to make the bunny shorter, so the aspect ratio is not going to be right on it. That was my goof. I didn't change it. But I think we can see whether it works or not. And this is a first attempt, so my wording may not be precise enough to get the result I want. However, that's fine. Okay, so let's see about this. Okay, so we've got some little glow stuff going on here, so I'm not really sure how that's going to look, but let's see. We're going to take it into the pixel cut and just see. Okay, so in this circumstance, we've got a little bit of black here. So I would also have to work with that, I think, because I don't know. No, actually, that shows up fine when you actually put it against the black background. That actually looks like pink tulle. It looked gray at first, but if you use it, like this, it shows it differently. Now, my problem with this is that if you're going to use it against a white, that's fine if you're using it against black. Black is going to show the way it should. So I'm going to go back in, and we're going to try to prompt it to do differently. So we're going to go back in and find our bunny. And then we're going to change the aspect ratio this time back to what it was. And then we're going to paste that. Okay, the background of this image, keep the style. But make the tutu solid pink. Let's see if that works. Now that may do away with a little bit of the fluffy look, but until I can find the proper words to get that airy look without it having the where it looks like there's stuff left over, or where it looks like it's dirty or something, then okay, so this one, let's see what it looks like. I love the bunny though. The bunny's great. Let's just go ahead and directly put this bunny in. Okay. Like I said, against the black background, it's fine, but I think I may have to work on this one, but you can see at least you can kind of work with it. So we're going to change this to white. So you see that when it removes all that, Now this one looks better the way it is. This one, okay. Okay. So actually that one is looking fine against the white. That was the first one I think we did. So that one looks fine. This one you see has those edges on it. Okay. So let's move on. I'm going to actually in Canva, I'm going to scramble I'm going to do some text now. So let's just say, I love peanuts. Okay. We're just going to take this. We're going to download it. Transparent background. Download. Okay. So what I'm going to do is go back in because we're going to see how it works for what I think it was intended to work for as a text editor. So I'm going to browse and grab that. I love peanuts. Okay. All right. And you can't really see this. Can I choose from library? Okay. That's not going to, I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I'm going to go in and see if I can find something that I've created that has the writing on it. Let's go through here, personal designs. Let's go to the journal stuff because sometimes we have some writing in there that we need corrected. Nope. Stickers. Anytime, it's crazy because anytime that you, thank you, would wordplay. Fancy letters. Let's just try the fancy letters. Okay, so let's just say, let's do this one. Okay. I'm just going to use this because this is the quickest one I can find. Okay. I really thought I had something that would have been easier to do to show you the text editor. And okay, so we're going to browse and we're going to pull this back in. So let's just see. We have our letters like this. And let's just say change. Okay. Okay. Turn this letter into this. Tammy. Into this word. This is again something I'm not sure it meant for it to be do, but I think it would be great if we could do, like, take our letter like that, and then if we can take it into the text editor and tell it to give us like the whole, our one letter, turn it into like the word, that would be really cool. I don't know whether it'll do it. Again, I'm just experimenting. Okay, so it didn't do that, but that maybe it did add Tammy, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so let's go back and let's try it again. Okay, so we've got this letter. And let's give it a little bit more instruction. So, okay, so use this letter style as a reference. Then create the word Tammy using the style of letter art. Okay. And again, this is me just pushing it. You know, I'm sure, I believe this is meant to correct existing problems in text, like when it says, you know, misspells California or misspells a name or something to that effect, or if you want to replace the text. I think that's what it's meant for, but I'm trying to figure out another way that we can do this. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do now, just to test the theory that that is what the intention is, let's go back to it. This time we're going to pull in this, and we're going to say correct Tammy, it should read Amelia. Because I'm going to, this is just sort of my idea here. Let's see if it does that, if it changes it to Amelia, because that's still going to be very useful to us with our product creation. And I'll show you why or how. This would be more for those folks that are doing direct personalization for people. Taking it a little bit of time there. I also don't know exactly what or if there's any limits specific to this feature. So far, there we go. So that is going to be it. So if you need to quickly, like if this were going to be let's try it again and see if we can change that to an A in the back. Because that would be something cute, for like if you wanted to make the pre-made ones and just list them by the name, and it was going to be something for sublimation, that would be really cute to have that decorated initial in the back with the name over the front. So you could list those. So let's go in, let's choose this from the library, and let's just say change the letter Y to an A. And we already have the name of Amelia. So that would be really cute. And you would be able to have like and once you find the pattern that you like if this works, then you could take your design behind your initial behind it, your thing. And then you could, you could do different things. You could do the different initials, you could, and change them up. Like you could design and have your initials, even if you design it in Canva, like if you pull the letter in and then you don't include the name. Okay, so it didn't change the letter at all. I'm not sure why, whether it's because it's not text or what. Let's try doing just the letter by itself without the thing and see what it'll do. I just want to push it so we know kind of what it will do for us. Okay, we're going to browse. We're going to get that letter Y. And it may have been because I didn't say leave the word Amelia or whatever. Okay, so we're leaving it that. Okay, so we're going to say change the letter Y to an A, but keep the style of the letter, style and pattern of the letter. Okay. Because I think that might be why I didn't tell it specifically to keep, and I didn't tell it to specifically, I told it to change it, but it changed the wrong thing. It changed the name rather than changing the letter itself behind. Even though I did instruct it to change the letter Y. So we'll just see. It may not work for this application. It changed it. Very good. Now we have the A. So now we can take, and we know it'll change the letter from this. So that worked. So now we have that phrase that we know we could work back in. Okay. So we have the A. Now let's see if we can push it like before. Got the A. And put add, change this single letter into the name Amelia. Keep the style and pattern of the current image. And we'll just see. But it's always really good if you get something that's working for you to take and go and like copy so you know how to phrase it. And you can save it in your prompt keeper that way. Just make one page for these little word prompts to use within the human stylizer, this text feature which is called what? Text editor. So, but it would be really cool if we could get Amelia spelled out in those letters without having to do it ourselves. I mean, we obviously could take and do. I've got all that alphabet that I could do, but okay. So it still didn't do it. So it's not going to do the letters, but it will let you change this. It will let you put a name over the letter. So now let's try putting the Amelia over the top of that one. Okay, so we go back in, go to text editor, and we select, no, it's not there. We select the A, and then we tell it to place the name Amelia in front of the A. Centered over the A in pretty script font in a pretty pink color. And so far, I'm still just loving the editing capabilities for the image that I did and removing the background. So, I mean, obviously, you don't necessarily really want to remove the backgrounds one at a time, but when you have an image that the background's not coming clean on, that gives you one more potential way to remove that background. There we go. So we got it that time. So we've got Amelia over the A, which is really cute. Now, probably I should have done white because that showed up a little bit better on this one. But we did get it done with the A, and that would be a really cute little thing for sublimation. You know, you could sublimate a canvas bag with that on it. You could sublimate. You know, this would be cool for Christmas gifts. I mean, all of us have to do Christmas gifts and stuff, so you could do a use your Cricut. You could print it out on the transfer paper, but then you know, maybe use your Cricut or something to cut it out. That printable um, heat transfer paper or whatever it is. So lots of ways you could use that. So we were able to get the name over that, and of course you would have to do the letters individually and then put um, the names across them and everything. But anyway, so let's look again at what else we can kind of do, or how far we can edit, how good it does with that editing. So I'm going to go back in, and over here first, I'm going to go and I'm going to go down to another one of my trouble images here. Let's say this one. And we're going to grab this one, and we're going to tell it to, we're just going to say remove the white background. Remove the white background. Refine the edges of the tutu skirt, making them clean and let's change it to the aspect ratio we want and then try it. So this way I'm trying to see if it will remove just that white background and leave the other little florals at the bottom, because sometimes we want them, sometimes we don't. We want all of that background removed. So I'm just testing it so you'll know. So far, this has been a really good feature for some troubleshooting because, like I said, all right, she's cute. She was cute before. Look at that. It did it. Okay, so let's just test it out and see. It looks like it's going to be really cool, but we've got to see what it looks like against a white background and what it looks like against a, okay. Okay, wait a minute. Let me just take it into, it's already got the background removed, so let's just take it here and do it inside Canva since it already removed the background. Or actually, it did not remove the background. Okay, which is fine. That's fine. I can remove the background. Okay, all right. So it did the same thing. We ended up, because I'm removing it not from a white background, but from a a black background, a dark background, that's where we're getting that. So what I'm going to do is go back in here now that I know that, because it's not truly, I thought it was, but it's not truly giving us, it's not truly, it is removing the background, but it's replacing it with black rather than white. So we don't want that. And you still have to remove that black. So because the black being back there, then we end up with that little see-through part being black. So we don't want that. So we're going to go back in. We're going to browse and go back, take this one again. Okay, and what we're going to do, we're not going to remove the background. We're just going to ask it to refine the edges of the tutu skirt, making them clean edges. And I didn't put her the way I should have, but her aspect ratio is wrong. My problem I run into, and I've done this on a few videos, is I love the look of the artistic designer, not the version 6 one, the new one, but the original one. It gives me really beautiful things, but sometimes they just don't come clean enough. And so I have a lot of waste. So um, that's why I refine the prompts and everything. But I wanted to give you an option and have one for myself, that if we see a specific image that we do want to clean up, that this gives us another option for cleaning it up. And for some reason, the feature is really slow. There we go. Okay, well, we got it. Okay, so I'm not sure why it put it like that. I'm afraid that may affect things when we go to remove the background, because what it did is it didn't, so it may leave that background. Oh, it didn't. Okay. And I believe that this is a much cleaner image. So now I can go back in, and all of these that were really, really rough, I can now, and let me do this. Let me download it, take it into Canva and show you. So we still have our little girl. She's still super cute. And she doesn't have as many folds because I did tell it to, clean up the skirt, but I still think the skirt is very cute. I could work with my wording to say include the folds, or whatever. Don't eliminate the folds. But we've got a much cleaner look. So see, this one is when we tried to remove the background from when we asked it to remove the background. This one is the one where we left it on white. We didn't remove the background with the text editor. But we did ask it to make the skirt edges more refined and clean. So, it did clean cut those edges. So we've got that one. And then we'll go back and I will show you, let me remove the background of the original image, just this is straight from Artistly. No edits at all. And this is, do you see the little roughness right here? Okay, so I'm going to put it back here. And then we'll download it, and we're going to put it right alongside these two. images so you can see the difference between all of them. And you'll be able to compare these last two to not doing anything and me refining. You see the folds, you did get more folds, but I still think this, for the difference in it being a clean image, losing some of those folds in there, it was still a win-win. So now I'm gonna turn this to black so you can see it. Okay. So you see here, this to me, it's fine if against black, but I wouldn't want to give it to a customer as clip art, because these little gauzy things right here on white it's going to show like black. It's going to show through dark. But when you look at the difference between this image and this one, the skirt has more folds, but it also has this little sort of artifact looking, and I believe the reason it does that is because this being sort of a gauzy material, a tutu usually is, it's kind of showing through like it's showing a white wall behind it, and it is cutting off, but it's kind of just getting those little edges. This one, as we really look at the edges, this one is clean. It's showing the pieces of the fabric, the little things like that. You're not getting all this white and everything. So it's a much more usable image now that I would be comfortable with. So we were able to work with that. Okay, so and this was the original image. And yes, it does have all those little folds and stuff. And I believe I could probably prompt to get those little folds back into that skirt. But like I said, when you have a lot of stuff that is really difficult to remove, that's when you kind of run into problems. So let me flip through here and find another image that I had a similar issue with, because these have been some of the hardest to, you have all these little, like this one, beautiful image, but just really hard to get the little gauzy things to be in a way that you can remove the backgrounds well. Let's see. Let's do this one. Okay. So I'm going to go back in, and we're going to pull it in here, grab it, make sure our aspect ratio is correct this time. Okay. So what we want to tell it to do is we're just going to say remove the background. And then we're going to tell it to refine the edges of the tutu, maintaining the pretty gauzy look, but with clean edges for clean background removal. A little wordy, but we'll just see how it interprets it and whether it gives us what we want image-wise. And all of these prompts, like these beautiful images, did come from my playbooks. So, um, you know, let's, oh, but I'm really excited about having this as another tool in the toolbox to use. Oh, and for anybody that is interested in the playbooks, maybe you don't have all of them, or if you do, I've just added a bonus that will be in your folders if you've already purchased. If you haven't, then this is a bonus that when you purchase will already be in there for you. I don't even have it advertised on Etsy or Gumroad as being a feature yet, just haven't gotten around to it. But I did add some flip books, and no, you're not going to use the flip books for. Okay, so let's just see what this does. Let's download it. The flip books are mainly just so you can browse easily. You'll still use your PDFs for your interactions and for doing your copy and paste and all that kind of stuff. But just a little feature so that, if you want to sit down and flip through and see what is where and, become more familiar with the product, the playbook. A lot of people had scroll fatigue when they were just trying to read, so especially for like the theme playbook where you're not doing as much copy and paste, then that would be really kind of cool. So let's just see. We're going to pull it into Canva here. Let's add a page. Let's make it bigger here. Going to upload it. My little goth girls are. Now, I could also instruct it to do away with those little, or I can do that manually. You just don't know. Okay, so it did put it on a background, but it's like a gray background. So we can try removing the background just inside Canva and see what it gives us. Okay, so it still did a very good job here. I'm not sure how it's going to look against a white background. So I think that's fine. That's grays. It doesn't look like there's no white. The gray is logical because it's part of the dress. So, um, yeah, I think that did pretty well. Now, how would I clean this up if I didn't want the drips? I might would leave the drips, but if I didn't want the drips, then you can go into edit in the magic eraser. You just go in and kind of do this. And you're still going to have the drips there, but you can do it like that. You can clean it up that way and just erase it. So, easy enough. So, really cute. I've got to really get these on the market because these are super cute goth girl readers that I'm going to do. So, anyway, that I really enjoyed using this feature, and I can just see so many applications for it, not only with correcting the text, but, let's see. I want to say that t-shirts. Let's go to the t-shirt one. Let's see if I have some that, well, I've already, I guess, removed those. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so have to sometimes. Okay, so let's just look at this because I think there may be something that maybe I had a. Yes, let's try this one where it says thank you gift. Let's go in, pull it in. And see if it'll allow us to. And you just for the keep every everything the same except change thank you gift to, let's see what we can change it with. Let's see. Um, welcome to the party. Let's see what it does. But how cool is it to have yet another one of those stylistic editors like the photo editor, the humans stylizer? This text editor is also so very cool to give us just another one that we can use in unexpected ways. And all of these tools, much as I do, if you've been using Artistly. And if you haven't, you need Artistly because it has so many different ways to interact with it. So cool. Be sure and watch all my other videos for all the cool things you can do with Artistly. But if you work with Artistly, you already know that these little features like this tend to take a little bit longer to populate. Okay, let's see if it did it. Welcome to the party. Very good. So that's where the editor, text editor comes in to play. So if you have something that's you want to change it out like this one, you could change the whole phrase out. You want to use the same image, but you want to do this, or like with your junk journaling, you want to add a little something. Lots of different applications for being able to edit that text. We do have the grab text feature where you can grab the text out under the advanced tab, but that to me is a little bit more complicated than just typing in what you want it to say. And in this way, it actually kept the font that it was in. If you do it through the edit, like if we were to go in here and edit it, and let's just try that, and I'll show you the difference. If you were to do this and go into the text editor here, it would grab the welcome to the party. But instead of maintaining that script, the font here, it's going to eliminate that font. So you're going to have to choose one of the fonts that is available inside Artistly to replace this, the saying. So it has its purposes, but it's also annoying when you really like that it came up. See how it did it? So now you can do away with this completely, which that didn't do away with. I don't know where it went. This isn't Canva, and you can't just drag it off that way. But so you could do that. So you could remove the saying altogether. You can do that, like if you want to eliminate it completely, and then you could add your stuff back in the way you wanted it. And there's. Oh, I guess I did get it delete. Nope, delete. Okay. So that's how that works. So having it where it actually, you can just tell it what to replace it with can save a lot of time. I mean, a lot of times we think in doing things so quickly, and mainly it's because we are stuck in that. And yes, bulk is good. I'm not saying, I always say bulk is good. But in the terms of our actual products, sometimes we do not have to have bulk, in there. We can spend a little bit more time on our individual, like if this was for an individual product, maybe it was, you're doing a sticker pack or something, and you want to take the time to, you can still do it quickly, but you also are going to, I don't know, you may be slowing down in one respect, but it may help you in the long run. I don't know that made any sense, but if it didn't, I'm sorry. This has been a fun video. Thank you for watching the video, and I want to remind you about the AI Artist Playbooks. They're what I have been using to do this video and do the create the prompts with. And they have tons of different word banks, phrase banks, textures, all the things you need to create your own unique prompts and elevate your prompting and your image creation with AI. You can purchase those on Etsy and on Gumroad. If you are in the EU, you will have to purchase through Gumroad, and I do currently have a discount coupon, and it's Summer 50. And if you're buying through Etsy, the discounted prices will already, if there's a current sale, be applied to, and there'll be a sale price. You don't have to use a code. And as far as the playbooks go, the Junk Journal edition is only available on Gumroad. It's not available on Etsy anymore. And so, if you don't have Artistly and you've just been watching the videos and you like what you see, there's no time like the present to jump right in. You'll have a lot of fun with it. There are many, many different creators inside Artistly. My videos sometimes cover one, sometimes they cover multiple designers inside Artistly. But if you're thinking about buying it, I would appreciate it if you'd use my affiliate link. It's located down in the description, and it does not cost you anything more to use it. You can even use the coupon codes that the company releases occasionally floating around out there. I think they do have a 10% or something going right now, but it may be more. I don't know when you're watching this. So check around and see if there's a coupon code you can apply, and you can help me out and save some money too. I have a Facebook group that is free to join, and I also have a weekly newsletter that is also free to get, and it just has lots of ideas on how to create, how to market your products, all those sort of neat digital product creator things. So that information and those links are also in the description. So you're welcome to join those. I even have a VIP program for anybody. Well, not program. It's a group. It's a Facebook group, but it is a VIP. So once you purchase, then you qualify to belong to that group if you'd like to join it. If you have any trouble making the link is actually in the Playbooks. So for that VIP group, or if for some reason you can't find it, just send me a message or a comment or something, and I will help you find out how to get into that group if you've purchased one of the Playbooks. And until next time, happy creating.